Alright guys, um, your boy did fall asleep last night, but the good thing is that everything is looking good, looking sexy, you know, got it going on. We did over marinate our food, but that should be a good thing. That gave the meat plenty of time to absorb all that good marinade, you know what I mean, to go into this pot today. We're gonna set it to 300 degrees. Ah. So like I said, we don't want to cook it too fast. We'll let that pre-cook. Get my tea water out the way. Now, we are going to get these greens popping. And my wife did. What she do? Okay. I must be tripping. Okay, honey, what you got? There we go. I'm tripping. Alright, we got a nice little beef ribs here, marinade. You see a little marinade at the bottom. Onions and such. We're gonna put them in there. We do got our bag of greens. Oh yeah. I think they're ready to go, baby. Sitting in the fridge all night. But we do gotta wash them first. So, gotta get them washed. We're gonna do that. But before we do that, let's get this in here. Now we're gonna place them a certain way because I want the meat face down. So it continues, like I said, to be falling off the bone, everything. We want to really get in there. We'll put a little water in the bottom. Don't want nothing drying out. And keep in mind, you don't need a lot of water because it is the beef ribs gonna make their own water plus the marinade being in there. But then I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do with the water and the marinade when we're done, which we're gonna reduce it down and make it into a nice glaze to go on top of the ribs when it's done. So like I said, face down, all the ribs. Make sure everything's looking good. And the other thing is we want the vegetables to be on top to marinate, to season the meat. So, putting all this down. Now remember, get the ones with some fat on them. That's where the good stuff is. That's where the good meat at. Good fat. Not the bad fat, we want the good fat. So we're doing a total of 8 ribs here. Getting it cracking. Oh yeah. Get that cracking. Nice and beautiful. Yeah, see all the vegetables on it. That there. See how you got that packed in there? Yeah, that's what you want. Now we're gonna make sure we got our marinade and our veggies in there. That's gonna help put all that seasoning right there. This is what we should look like when we're done. Oh yeah. Looking like that. Looking sexy, ladies. Looking sexy. But we're gonna put that to the side. Right there. Get that out of the way. Boom. Clean these greens. I know my wife cleaned them, but never can be too careful. Always something left. You don't want no dirt and nastiness and all that in there. So, got that going. Boom. We start throwing that in there. And again, keep in mind, all these things are gonna make their own water, so you don't need a whole lot of water. Sometimes you need to add some, but for the most part, you don't. So, always be looking for that. Now, this is my thing, not everybody else's, but Usually I put some cabbage in there, but this time I'm just gonna season real good. Throw some onion in there. Definitely gonna throw some onion in there. A little garlic powder. Definitely some salt. There's sea salt, so you don't know how to add a lot. I mean, I'm a big garlic guy. Very healthy for you, but also tastes very, very good, especially the smoked garlic. I like, well, roasted garlic, I'm sorry. I like this roasted garlic. It really brings out the flavor of the foods. So, take a little of that, put that in there. Like I say, everybody likes their greens different, you know. Some people make them plain, some people make them with spices, some people, you know, don't put a lot on it. Me, I used to put my spices in there, my onions, my cabbage, you know, hot peppers, all of that, and just a taste of vinegar. I always like my vinegar. You don't need a lot of onion. Everybody thinks you need a lot of onion. No, you don't. You're just looking for the flavor. So we already got the turkey tails in there. That's gonna give it flavor. You need just a little bit of that. I said, all together you're gonna probably use a half an onion. And then, of course, put a little onion, black eyed peas, seasonings, and all that. I'm a big seasoning guy. I love, you know, use my vegetables for seasoning. Like I said, I don't use a lot of the done seasonings already, but I do use some. But sometimes you want that extra kick depending on what you're making and how you like it. And everybody else, everybody got their different things, man. You know, no two recipes are alike, and no two recipes go for everybody at the same time. So there we go. Got that going. Boom. We'll mix that up in a little bit. Get them turkey tails going. Now, I'm a person, I believe in leaving my turkey tails the way they are because at the end of the day, you know, they're going to break apart on their own anyway. See, that's a good looking turkey tail. That's good looking. See that? And they'll break apart on their own anyway. You ain't really got to do all of that, you know. People say you do. I mean, if you really want to be extra clean about it, not have any bones at all. Yeah, but turkey tail bones are very, very small. So, it don't take a lot. Like I said, a lot of this is set in and forget it. We still got more greens to go. Still got to mix them in. So, we still got more, about another, I'll say once this simmers down and reduces down, we're going to have another half a pot of greens to put in here. Mix everything up. Keep letting it go till it's done. Oh, it's done and ready? Yeah, baby. You can get cooked, baby. 300 degrees, baby. So yeah, we take it all day to make all this. But slower is usually better. Can you get the same results sometimes with different methods? Yes, but like my great grandma used to say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So we'll throw you in here. Oh yeah. That's right in the middle. Oh, good to go. Now we're going to separate and throw in these black eyed peas so we can get them done. Get them out the way. Like I said, this is an old tried and true method. Don't get me wrong, they usually make sure there ain't no rocks and stuff in them, but every blue moon, you know, even if they sift them out, you can still find some rocks and stuff in them. So, you know, you gotta check that out. Now, black eyed peas don't make their own water, they absorb the water. So you're gonna have to wanna watch that just to make sure, you know, you got enough water in there generally, whatever water you use, I used half the crock pot last night to make my smoked turkey tails. And generally, when you do that, usually add a little bit of broth to it, for the flavor and everything. But also adds a little moisture and water to it. Usually don't have to add, water after they're done cooking. But again, sometimes you do. It just depends. Just watch it. Check on it for a couple hours. Now when you make sure they're done, you don't want to overcook them because it's just nasty. But then you don't want too much water in them either because it'll be soupy. You don't want it to be soupy. Well, some people like it soupy. I don't like mine soupy. I like mine with kind of like a thicker base, kind of a gravy with it. It'll make its own. All you gotta do is just, let it do its thing. Like I said, if it gets too thick, then yeah, add a little water, turn it off, add a little water. You should be good. But, you look at the health facts of everything. As long as you're not adding in a whole bunch of pork and over seasoning the food, with all the spices and things, especially salt. Big thing in the black community is salt. That's why I use like sea salt or pink Himalayan salt. More expensive, but way healthier for you. So a lot of things you'll see me using have health benefits outside of cooking with it. Things like ginger, garlic, cinnamon, even surprisingly enough, fun fact, clove oil, very good for toothaches and numbing the area, like if you got a toothache and everything. And if you eat 2 cloves a day, it helps with joint health and inflammation, things of that nature. So yeah, there's other benefits to eating certain foods and everything, and cooking as healthy as possible. Like I said, it ain't gotta be. You ain't gotta truly deviate from everything we've ever cooked. Grew up eating and everything. But there are different ways you can make it healthier that, it'll still taste just as good. Like right now, I'm not using pork. I'm using turkey. I'm a big turkey guy. Turkey bacon, turkey this, turkey that. And the reason being is because, besides being a little bit more expensive than pork or beef, it actually has is not as expensive as say lamb or bison or some fish. You will start to see me cook more fish. I'm a big fish guy. I love seafood. So, all right, got that done. That's all good. I'll clean up a little bit. Put all this together. All right, got all that together. Yes. All right, let's get this mixed up here.
And is this one of the smaller dumps that came up?
Yes, this is good. Yes, I'm all about using as little dishes as possible. I don't like to clean up behind myself if I ain't got to. It is what it is. So, salt. And another thing, you'll always find me using pretty much the same spices. Every once in a while, depending on the dish, I will switch it up. It could be Indian dish, African dish, Cambodian, Filipino, Chinese, Vietnamese, whatever. But you will find me switching up with different vegetables, things like that. Every once in a while. To get the desired flavors that I want. And if you do notice something about a lot of my dishes and a lot of things that I cook will be that you are not going to use a lot of meat. You're not. If you go outside of the U.S., a lot of times, most cultures use more vegetarian or eat vegetarian more often than they eat meat. And that's because meat is not as readily available one, in most countries compared to here, but two, traditionally when you cook back in the day,
What about these pieces of material?
people had cows and horses for different things, you know, that nature, and you can't really be, you know, smacking your meat all the time. Can't kill your meat because you need, you know, like you need chickens for eggs, you need cows for milk, you need, you know, cows to help plow the field, you know, stuff like that. So, yeah, that's breaking apart really nice. So you won't never really have like a gang of meat in your food. If you ever notice, especially like Asian countries, you'll have a whole lot of vegetables, and it'll be nicely prepared, looks good, tastes good. But you'll find little bits of meat. You know, if it's a beef dish, you'll find some strips of beef. You know, fish dish, you'll find more fish than anything because they, you know, live next to the ocean. But, you know, beef, pork, all that is usually not a lot. So it really doesn't hurt their health as much as it does Americans because we overconsume a lot of meat, which is not good for us. Not saying that, you know, consuming meat is bad, but it is saying that, you know, you want to reduce the amount of meat you eat. I know a lot of red meats can lead to health problems like arthritis and, or aggravate arthritis, things like that. I'm not, you know, a doctor or nothing. I ain't totally sure on all of it, but I do know there are a lot of health benefits to reducing the amount reducing the amount of meat that you eat with, plus using different types of meat, leaner meats that, you know, doesn't affect the body in the same way that the foods that we eat as Americans, you know, the meats that we eat as Americans affect our bodies. Weight gain, arthritis, clogged arteries, high blood pressure, all that good stuff. So to prevent that, you know, go to the doctor and get a healthy as an ox type deal going on, like I do usually. Regular workouts, it ain't gotta be nothing big, you can tell. Almost 50, I'm starting to get a little something here. Well, I'm gonna snatch that off, don't even worry about that. But other than that, yeah, you're gonna get those things. So, you know, to prevent those things as much as possible, especially getting over to your older age, you're gonna wanna make sure that you are using the correct foods to your lifestyle and your personal health. That's always a big thing. It always starts with diet, whether you're working out, whether you're just taking care of yourself, whether you're trying to lose weight, fight health conditions. Always, always, always starts with diet. Now, again, as you can see, our turkey tails is starting to break up real good. Within that, we ain't even been going good yet. Well, we're gonna throw some more of these greens on here. Yeah. Yep. And again, the last thing we're gonna make is the coney bread. That's always a good thing. It's gonna look good, feel good, taste good. Oh yeah. So I said now with my greens, I don't like to do a whole lot of seasoning because a lot of people like their hot sauce or, you know, vinegar or whatever. And nothing wrong with that, but you know, you kind of want to season it to taste, depending on your taste, of course. Everybody has their preference. Me, I just make sure it's a good seasoning on it, not a lot. Like I said, remember, this is going this is going to be, you know, something that you do to taste a lot of times because, as I said, not everybody is going to eat it the same. Oh, cook it the same, I'm sorry.
painting a picture of how the Hessian troops rolled away the Arabs waiting for action. And although this is
And please, people, do not waste your veggies.
the dugouts are well
Don't waste them. Just because they're on the stove. Don't waste your veggies. You know, I know it's key for a lot of Americans to do, but one of the reasons why people outside the United States are so healthy is that they don't waste anything. Meaning when they make a duck or they make a chicken or they make a whatever, they don't waste a lot of food. You know what I'm saying? They use just about every part of that animal or every part of that vegetable. So, like now, throw me some more onion and my black eyed peas. Always gives it a clean, crisp flavor. I like that. Now, other people might not like onions as much as I do, but again, like garlic, onions are healthy for you. They give your food a good taste. Like I said, you don't have to add a lot. You know, you're gonna have some leftover, and that's a good thing. That's what we want. You know, but everybody has their thing. Like I said, some people gonna add a lot more. Some people gonna add a lot less. It just depends. So now we got all that done. That's looking good. There we go. And now you just set it and forget it. And don't forget now, we got our oven on 300. So with that being said, it's gonna take a long while for that beef to get done. But when it does get done, we're gonna see it. It's gonna be nice, and soft, and just tender, ready to go, falling off the bone. And then, like I said, we're gonna take what's left of the marinade and seasonings and everything, and we're gonna reduce it into, like I said, a glaze that goes on top. And oh my God, it's gonna get a chef's kiss. But you gotta get there first. So, now that we're done with everything, we can put everything up. All the spices are pretty much done. The only thing we got left is, what you call it? Cornbread. So, we're gonna do our cornbread. Everything looking spiffy and sexy. And yes, I know I need to get another tea kettle, but right now I'm using my pot for my tea. I'm old school, I don't like the microwave. I don't know if it gives it a taste for me. Don't ask me why. It just does. Maybe I'm just old school like that. Get all this on. You always know to clean up behind yourself now. You don't want to come back and clean up later. We'll do a whole lot of cleaning. You just clean up behind yourself. And we just make sure everything is looking good. You know, for the most part. That way you ain't got to do too much. And yeah. Turn that on. Get that going. Crock pot. Turn that down in there. Boom. We're good to go. Now, if you notice, we got one utensil that we're actually use for both pots. You don't have to use the utensil for the ribs. Everything's pretty much clean, wiped down, looks decent. The two extra dishes we did have to use are already in the sink, which is our knife and cutting board. When you do it like this, you can definitely either put it in a container when it's done, or, you know, leave it where it's at. And, you know, I don't use the container first, but some people got enough room in their fridge where they can just leave where it's at, turn the lid upside down and stick it in the fridge. Hey, either way, it's your house. Do it how you want to do it. But me, I'm just here to teach you how to cook healthier and to make good food, and food that we like, food that we grew up eating, that, you know, motivates us to keep it going. You know, keep everything going that we've been having going. So, if you guys will excuse me, I got everything else done. I'm gonna come back to this journey, but Daddy gotta make sure he get some tea. I can't start my morning without my tea, man. I just can't do it. It don't work like that. So, please forgive me, but I gotta go make my tea. I'm through cooking for y'all right now. I'm gonna come right back, and then we're gonna show you finished product, and then we're gonna actually show you what the plate looks like, how to arrange it so it looks tantalizing to the children. Oh, yes. And when we're finally done, we're gonna, you know, it's just Jiffy Mix. We're not making it from scratch. Not going through all that. But we are gonna make some cornbread. But yeah, we're gonna show you the final product, and we have a picture, video of everything, how it looks and how it's supposed to look and all that good stuff. And we'll go from there. See you in a minute.